Hello, I'm going to read Nana's Amazing Journey by Gloria Avrech. Once upon a time, in a place beyond time and space, lived a 9-year-old little girl called Lily Rose. She had brown eyes and slightly curly brown hair. There was nothing very distinctive about her except that she seemed much older than her years. One day she visited her grandmother, called Nana. She had white hair in a loose bun and a wrinkled face. There was nothing much distinctive about her except that she had a moderately curved spine and seemed much younger than her actual years. Even though Nana was old and Lily Rose was young, they had lots in common. For example, they both loved cats. Nana loved to stroke the soft velvet of cats' ears. Lily Rose loved to listen to the sound of cats purring. There was one problem. Nana said, I need to find a way to connect to spirit. After all, I do not have much time left on this earth. She thought that a relationship with spirit might help her when it's time to transition from this world to the next. Nana understood spirit to be divine energy. Lily Rose was excited to share with Nana, I know a very special secret place, and I go there when I want important knowledge, which no other human can discover. Nana started to pack up snacks for their adventure, but Lily Rose said, Where we are going, we don't need snacks. And Nana smiled, realizing that Lily Rose had a deep connection to other places, magical places, full of plants, animals, minerals, and human spirits. After all, she was so young and fairly new in this world. She carried a wisdom that Nana had lost. It is a wisdom that comes from a deep part of the self, a part beyond what adults call ego, based in the living spirit. Sometimes people have to face a lot of problems in their lives. After living many years with these problems, they forget how to connect to spirit and need help finding it again. Lily Rose was a very brave, confident, and smart girl. She knew that she could help her grandmother find this missing spirit connection. She said, grinning, Let's go. For the two of them to travel to this special place, it was necessary to make special preparations for their journey. Lily Rose said, Let's pretend that I am your teacher. I will show you what we need to do. It will be like creating a holy ritual. They sat down on a comfy couch in Nana's cottage. The cozy living room was warmed by a gentle fire in the hearth. Lily Rose pulled out of her large, black, magical tote bag a bunch of special items. She took rainbow-colored, sparkly yarn and encircled both of them. She cast a magical, protective circle. Striking a match, she lit dried-out sage, which she grew in her special place. She took a turkey feather wand and waved the smoke from the lit sage all over their bodies. She wanted to protect them, to clear out any bad energies. Lily Rose said to her grandma, We must call in the spirits. First, we need the spirits from the 4 directions. As she struck the Tibetan symbols together with a strong voice, she called out to the spirits of the east, north, west, and south. Then Lily Rose called for help from the spirits who come from above, below, and within. And now we need to play some of my musical instruments, Lily Rose instructed. She took out of her black bag rattles, bells, small drums, and other sound makers. Lily Rose was especially delighted with this musical part of the ritual. Nana's young teacher added, You can pick any instrument that you like to play. Nana commented, I love the sound of the Tibetan bell. That's what I want to play. And she rang it so loudly that the 2 cobalt blue glasses on the nearby table began to vibrate. Joining Nana, Lily Rose took her colorful small frame drum and began beating a low-sounding dum, da dum, da dum, da dum. Then Lily Rose darkened the room and her her lemon-scented candle to light. After several minutes, they were able to figure out together how to play the double drumming CD music. It has sounds which help the mind imagine better. Lily Rose quietly chanted the following ancient, traditional pagan words. The circle is cast. We are between the worlds, between the bounds of time and space, where night and day, life and death, joy and sorrow meet as one. The fire is lit and the ritual has begun. They were ready. Then Lily Rose spoke in a soft, quiet voice. Nana, now we are going to my secret place. You can only get there in your imagination, but it will feel very, very real. Please do not tell anyone about it. Okay, said Nana, who was very good at keeping secrets. Nana and Lily Rose had so much in common. They had a special, magical connection. They could see and sometimes share the same pictures in their minds. Imagine a place in the San Gabriel Mountains, Lily Rose said with a dreamlike tone. It's a real place, but you have never been there before. This place is deep in the Angeles Forest. It's called Chantry Flats. Lily Rose asked, Can you see this place? Can you see a short and easy hiking trail there, Nana? Nana answered, I need a minute to picture it. Ah, there it is. Good, said Lily Rose. Lily Rose continued, Pretend that we are going to walk on that hiking trail. It takes you along a creek bordered by alder, oak, bay, spruce, and willow trees. The path will be decorated with brush, thick chaparral, ivy, and vinca with its periwinkle-colored flowers. Lily Rose loved the sights and smells along this trail, but she warned Nana, it is important not to get sidetracked by smelling the fragrant leaves or taking pictures of the wildflowers with your iPhone. She added, there are these big boulders for climbing and an array of smaller slippery stones and rocks. Nana, you will encounter these really scary creek crossings. Easy to lose your footing, fall in, and get wet, which is not such a bad idea on a really hot day. They began to slowly climb, and eventually they safely arrived at the end of the trail, which was at the top of Sturtevant Falls. These falls are at least 50 feet high, and they come cascading down as if they don't care who is looking at them. Here is the magical and interesting part, said Lily Rose. Now that we are at the top of the falls, we need to jump. Remember, this would be a very risky thing to do in our normal lives. Actually, I would not advise doing it, but in our imagination, everything is possible. Nana smiled, happy to be free to imagine taking the leap. They used the power of the water to push them down, 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 descending to a small lake below. As they began to swim to the shore, they found a little canoe made out of animal skins floating in the water. They climbed in and sat down, nestling like two little bluebirds. Lily Rose asked, Nana, are you okay? We've had some real excitement today. She was referring to jumping into the falls. Nana responded with a broad smile. Definitely, I feel wonderful. Lily Rose added, You might have imagined that our canoe would be brightly painted with lots of colorful symbols and designs, but it isn't. Nana, being very practical, commented, As long as it floats, it's fine. They both knew that the canoe was simple and ordinary, just like they were in this magical world. After relaxing for a while, they both paddled the canoe to another part of the lake. As they floated along, the lake began to grow. Magically, it became much larger than it was in the beginning. Lily Rose suddenly said, Let's get out over there." She pointed to a stretch of shoreline where there was a simple wooden bench overlooking the lake. "This is my special place," she proudly exclaimed. They found a strong rope and attached it to the canoe. After tying the canoe to a nearby weeping willow tree, they climbed onto the land. They walked a short distance to the wooden bench and sat down. Lily Rose explained to Nana, "This is where I wait for a special power animal to arrive. The animal will help me with my question. It can be an animal that is four-legged, or with fins, or with wings. For example, sometimes it is a lion, a fox, a bear, a kangaroo, a raven, a chickadee, a dolphin, or even a whale. Sometimes I have no idea what it is. Some people get the same power animal every time, but not me. Every time I travel here, a different animal shows up to help me. Some people call this place the lower world. We can call it whatever we want, though." Lily Rose was a very original and creative thinker. Also, I want to let you know, Nana, that we can travel to what is called the upper world to get answers and information. Lily Rose was very clear in her explanations. Again, we can call that place what we want to. If we are meant to journey to the upper world, a magical ladder often emerges. We climb it and it goes up, up, up into the clouds. I love the feeling of the clouds. They are white, very light, and soft, like extra large cotton balls. "Wow, what happens then? I'm very curious," Nana exclaimed. Lily Rose answered, "Well, a room with wall-to-wall books appears. Inside it, there is a very old man. He has long, white, wavy hair and an equally long, white, wavy beard. He owns a very heavy, dark red, ancient book. This book is enormous and it has golden-edged pages. Each page has signs, symbols, and a strange language with all sorts of unusual letters. The old man will close his eyes, make a silent wish, and open the book to any of these pages. The page that opens up holds just the right answer to any question that you could ever imagine asking." "But I don't think we're going to the upper world this time," Lily Rose sensed. She was very intuitive. This time, something very strange happened. While sitting on the wooden bench, Lily Rose and Nana at the same time noticed Father Sun Spirit in the sky. He was shining down on Earth, perfectly round and very bright. Nana, who was really getting into imagining magical worlds by then, said, "The light is so bright from Father Sun Spirit, it's actually hurting my eyes just peeking at it." "Same for me," said Lily Rose. "How odd. This is the first time I've ever seen anything like this." "Maybe it's because you're here, Nana," she sweetly grinned. Suddenly, a strong ray of this bright sun spirit pulsed downwards, or this sun spirit light pulsed downwards. The light flowed right into a large black Pueblo vase with etched carvings on it. Lily Rose just happened to be holding it. She explained, "This vase is a special treasure of mine. It was given to me when I was born. Usually these kinds of vases are open and do not have fitted tops. Mine is different, just like I am. It has a fitted black top that I can put on it. I think that somehow I think that someone knew that I might need it someday." Nana secretly smiled. The ray of spirit light was captured in the vase. Lily Rose made sure that it would stay in there by quickly placing the special top on it. But the closed vase began to heat up. It became so hot, too hot to hold with her two small hands. "Ouch," said Lily Rose. "I can't hold this anymore. It's too hot." She put it down on the green, grassy ground near where she was sitting. the large black vase began to vibrate in a friendly communication with the ground, who happily received its warmth, energy, and love. And then another strange thing happened. As soon as the vase was placed on the ground, day turned to night, and the sky lit up with wondrous northern lights. The curtains of purple-red auroric light energy started dancing in the dark night sky. Lily Rose turned to Nana, seated next to her on the bench, and said with amazement, "This is awesome!" Nana was so overwhelmed with the beauty of the lights, she could not speak. Entranced by the light spirits in the sky, Lily Rose and Nana temporarily forgot about the black vase on the ground near them. It started getting even hotter and hotter. Meanwhile, looking at the northern lights caused Lily Rose to become very excited, too excited. She knew that she needed to let go of some of the energy or she would just burst open into a million pieces. Remembering something that had helped her in the past, Lily Rose said to Nana, "Let's sing one of my favorite songs, one that you taught me long ago. This is a way that I can let out some of my energy." "Which song?" Nana asked. Lily Rose answered quickly in a smart aleck fashion, "Spirit in the Sky," implying it was so obvious. They started singing, still ignoring the vase, but the pressure in the vase had been building up to such a point that the top exploded off. The intense light energy, which the vase had contained, violently erupted. Pop, pop, pop! It sounded like fireworks. The light began to spread out in the form of a flowing, sparkling fountain. Meanwhile, at exactly the same time, night turned back to day. "I am shocked," said Lily Rose, who was not usually someone to admit such things. "I'm shocked too," Nana replied. They both abruptly stood up. The light fountain was flowing powerfully. The light curved down like a giant, infinitely petaled lotus. They reached out their arms, opened their hands, and took in this light energy, drinking and swallowing it like thirsty golden doodle dogs. The light continued to stream into their bodies and rested in their hearts. A small amount of rosy, loving heart energy intermingled with a small amount of bright yellow-white spirit energy and radiated from their centers. This alchemy was so exciting and thrilling. Nana said, "Look, I am shaking in my bones and muscles all over my body. It's as if Mother Earth has sent me my own earthquake." It was then that both Nana and Lily Rose knew that they could always hold a small bit of spirit light energy in their hearts the rest of their lives, for as long or as short as they both lived. Nana, who was always polite, said, "Let's thank Father Sun Spirit." And they both said, "Thank you. Thank you, Father Sun Spirit." The faces were all wrinkled up with smiles. The spirit connection had been created. Lily Rose said to Nana, "It is now time for us to return home." "But I want to stay here," said Nana. "Oh, I'm sorry, but it's not possible," Lily Rose responded. "Anyway, the drumming CD is about to come to an end. We need to open up the magical circle and return to our regular lives." And so they returned home, both forever changed. The end.